afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm President Ann DeLeva, and welcome to Binghamton University's 2026 State of the University Address. Thank you so much for being with us today. Before I begin, I thought we might start with a new tradition. I'd like to welcome our student singers from No Strings Attached to the stage to perform our alma mater in the rolling hills of Binghamton. Thank you so much, No Strings Attached. I think you'll agree with me, that's a new tradition. I want to thank all of you for the warm welcome you've shown me during my first few months on campus. I appreciate it deeply, and it has reinforced that a special community truly exists here at Binghamton. I'd like to thank my predecessor, Harvey Stenger, for his gracious guidance and support during the transition. And I thank President Stenger for his outstanding leadership of this university during his 13-year tenure. I want to thank the members of the Binghamton University Council, many of whom are here with us today, for their dedicated service, wise counsel, and steadfast advocacy on behalf of the university. Their leadership and partnership play an important role in moving Binghamton forward. I'm also deeply grateful to the members of the Binghamton University Foundation Board for their leadership, stewardship, and enduring partnership. Through their careful oversight of our resources and strategic investments, they help ensure that philanthropy is thoughtfully aligned with our academic priorities and that we are building a strong, sustainable future for the university. I'd also like to thank Chancellor John King, Chair Merrill Tisch, and the SUNY Board of Trustees, and our friends and colleagues in the SUNY System Administration who work so hard on behalf of public higher education across New York. We are all deeply appreciative of their tireless support for our university and their leadership, advocacy, and commitment to strengthening public higher education for the people of New York and the nation. And of course, I'm indebted to the great work of the university's vice presidents, the members of the senior officers group, and my staff in the president's office. Leading a university is a team effort, and I couldn't have better people working alongside me on this journey. And I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of our distinguished guests today, State Senator Leah Webb, Assemblywoman Donna Lopardo, Binghamton Mayor Jared Cram, Johnson City Mayor Christina Charek, Vestal Town Supervisor Maria Sexton, Town of Union Supervisor Robert Mack, and representatives from the offices of Senator Charles Schumer and Representative Josh Riley. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your support of Binghamton University and its mission. Because this is my first address, and because I am counting the days, this is day 5 of week 12, just in case anyone's counting alongside me, I'd like to use a bit of a different format for the state of the university this year. Instead of looking back at the year that was, I want to look ahead and share what's in store for Binghamton in 2026. I'll start by highlighting some important developments. Then I want to review what I learned during the Listening to Lead tour. I'll give you an update on the strategic planning process, which is already underway. And finally, I'd like to talk about the Binghamton Bond. You know what the Binghamton Bond is, even if you can't perhaps quite define it. It is the spirit that unites all of us, the big, broad, diverse Binghamton community, in the work we do across the 4 pillars of our mission: education, research and scholarship, economic development, and community engagement. It's the sense of connection and caring that underlie our commitment to making our world a better place. You contribute to the Binghamton Bond every day when you help a student, make a breakthrough in your research, connect with a community member, or as an alum, give back to the university. I know I've felt it personally in the warm welcome that I've received here, and I think you'll find that it resonates as the theme of this presentation. On September 30th, 1946, the first classes were held for Triple Cities College, the predecessor for Harper College and what we all know today as Binghamton University. We're going to be celebrating 80 years of history throughout 2026, especially as we get closer to the anniversary date in the fall. When I think of Binghamton University, it fits in the great tradition of public higher education in this country, alongside institutions like the University of Virginia, the University of Michigan, UC Berkeley. The difference is our 80 years of history compared to the 100+ years of tradition some of our peers have. But Binghamton's history and traditions are unique and significant. Triple Cities College was founded to educate the greatest generation as they returned home from World War II. That legacy is in our DNA: leadership, service, research and scholarship that improve the world around us, and giving students the opportunity to make their mark. Despite how this university has changed and grown over the years, and I've heard from so many alumni who can't believe how different Binghamton is today than what they remember, the explosive growth in research, the new buildings, the increase in the number of students, faculty, and staff. And yet, despite how Binghamton has grown, it hasn't deviated from its original mission. For 80 years, this place has been driven by the core mission of giving talented students the opportunities and resources they need to make our world a better place. Our commitment is to continue to grow and amplify that mission into the next 80 years. I do have truly outstanding news on artificial intelligence at Binghamton. The university has received the largest academic gift in university history, $30 million to create the New York Center for AI Responsibility and Research. It is the first independent AI research center at a public university. It will focus on responsible AI and advancing this technology for the public good. Binghamton has already done tremendous work in AI thanks to our faculty in the Watson College of Engineering and Applied Science and across our schools and colleges. I'm extremely proud that this university will lead the nation and the world in ensuring that AI serves for the benefit of all. The funding comes from Tom Secunda, a member of the class of 1976 and the co-founder and vice chairman of Bloomberg LP. Tom is a visionary leader, someone who, in addition to his remarkable work, has been the driving force behind the creation of Empire AI, an extraordinary investment in our state that will ensure New York remains a global leader in technology innovation. We're incredibly grateful that Tom Secunda's transformative gift has been matched by a $25 million capital investment from Governor Hochul and the state legislature. Tom is giving back to Binghamton because he has a deep love and appreciation for this place and the role it played in his education and subsequent career. I thank Tom from my heart for this generous gift. And I thank New York State and SUNY for investing in Binghamton as a national leader in responsible AI. Earlier this month, we were delighted to learn that Binghamton has received a prestigious Carnegie classification for community engagement. Much like Carnegie's research classifications, where our R1 status signifies that we are among the very best research universities in the nation, this Carnegie classification reflects national acknowledgement of Binghamton's excellence in community engagement and our deep commitment to partnering with our communities through the mutual exchange of knowledge and resources. Community engagement here takes many forms. It is the faculty and students in the College of Community and Public Affairs, Decker College of Nursing and Health Sciences, and the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, providing essential health care and services to our neighbors. It is faculty and students teaming up with community partners to explore how climate change will affect Broome County. It is student volunteers working with Gigi's Playhouse, providing educational and therapeutic programs to individuals with Down syndrome. It is students from the Watson Institute for Systems Excellence helping Kennedy Valve, a fire hydrant manufacturer in Elmira, develop a better powder coating process. And we are embedding this work and this way of thinking into the curriculum as well as co-curricular activities so that all students gain experience in asking how they can solve real-world problems and serve others. Please stay tuned for details on our upcoming celebration of the Carnegie Community Engagement Classification, and I hope you will all join us. Throughout November and December, I met with so many students, faculty, staff, alumni, community partners, and friends during my Listening to Lead tour. I made 38 stops over the course of 44 days, and did my day job too, don't worry. I want to thank everyone who came to those meetings. I learned so much about Binghamton and what makes it such a special place. I heard fantastic ideas and insights, and I was able to share them with the broader community through the Listening Tour blog. I appreciate the careful attention that the community paid to the blog. And because it proved to be a valuable mode of communication, now that the Listening Tour has concluded, I will continue blogging about what I'm seeing and hearing across campus because I can sense the demand for that kind of open communication between us. You'll be able to find those posts on the President's Office website every Monday under the title From Anne's Desk. Several themes emerged from the Listening Tour. These themes showcase what Binghamton does well, where we can improve, and how connected we are across the schools, colleges, divisions, offices, and departments that make up this university. First, there's widespread consensus that Binghamton University is in a position of strength. You know the wonderful accolades that represent the work you're doing here. A top 10 public Ivy and a top 25 national public university, research expenditures climbing to $87.3 million, a record 61,200 undergraduate applications for the fall 2025 class. What's driving all this success? At the core, we've created a caring and compassionate community, marked not only by extraordinary student success and faculty excellence, but also by staff who are recognized across SUNY and even nationally as leaders in their fields. When I look to Binghamton's future, I'm grateful for the university's past. We are in a position to succeed because we're driven by the mission that has guided Binghamton so well throughout its 80 years of history. Through the listening tour, it became clear that the university community is incredibly proud of the way that Binghamton has made tremendous strides in research and scholarship. It's also clear that our faculty, students, and staff are eager and ready to do more. One factor in our research success that people pointed to repeatedly is Binghamton's size as conducive to interdisciplinary and collaborative initiatives. We are large enough to host a comprehensive array of disciplines, and yet small enough that faculty, students, and staff know each other and want to work together. There is still room for growth without losing Binghamton's student-focused, high-touch, collaborative identity. But in order to grow, we're going to need more dedicated space for research. We also need to continue to work with industry partners to maximize the potential for tech transfer, entrepreneurship, and economic development. And we need not only additional faculty and staff, but also more graduate students to assist in these efforts. And this leads to another topic that was a focus of a lot of thoughtful discussion through the listening tour, the graduate student experience. The quality of the education our graduate students receive isn't in question. It's excellent. However, the graduate student experience holistically needs to improve before we can grow the graduate student population. I'm encouraged and grateful for the support this idea has received from Dean Deek and the Graduate School, as well as the deans across our schools and colleges. Their leadership and innovative ideas are crucial to this project. Housing, for example, has emerged as a key area of concern, especially for our international graduate students. Others mention the need to foster a sense of community and support career development across graduate programs. Once we start to outline these issues through the strategic planning and process and implement solutions, we can think about adding more graduate students. And that will be an important step toward an 8-year goal of doubling Binghamton's annual research expenditures to approximately $180 to $200 million per year in collaboration with SUNY and its research initiatives. I think Binghamton's aspirant peer institutions in research are universities like Brown, Dartmouth, and Rice. These are institutions that don't have the enormous research portfolios of Michigan or Johns Hopkins, but they produce globally recognized and impactful research via refined and focused portfolios, with significant strength in the humanities, arts, and social sciences, nourished alongside path-breaking efforts in the STEM disciplines. Binghamton can do the same. Binghamton's growth in students, faculty, and staff is a massive success story. It has also created demand for new spaces. The good news is that we have many ongoing projects that are going to address these needs. The new lecture hall and classroom building will open in the fall of 2027, adding 1,900 new seats. The university has purchased the former Columbia Financial Group office building on Vestal Parkway. That building will allow us to move back-of-house staff there and expand research space, clinical services, and optimize student-facing support on the main campus. Grace Hall will open in the summer of 2027, providing 350 new beds for residential life. The Shenango Room, East Gym, the Event Center, and the Science 3 building all have major ongoing or soon-to-begin renovations or expansions. One of my top priorities is adding a new research building to campus, and we are working on that priority with our partners in SUNY and the state legislature. Binghamton has a strong culture of philanthropy. Throughout the listening tour, I was glad to hear the university community express their eagerness to grow and elevate this work and ensure that it is one of my priorities as president. The Division of Advancement has done excellent work, both through the Accelerate campaign and in growing the university's endowment to more than $330 million. We need to ask our alumni and friends for their continued support in helping Binghamton achieve its goals. Our alumni love and appreciate Binghamton for what it gave them, and they are eager to pay it forward and help the next generation of students have a transformational education. Their support is an essential complement to what we receive from SUNY, the state, and our hardworking families through their tuition dollars. Future growth of Binghamton's endowment is critical in expanding the scope of what the university can do and in navigating future challenges. One of the phrases that I heard often during the tour is that Binghamton is a hidden gem. I appreciate the sentiment because Binghamton is certainly a gem, but there's broad consensus that we don't have to be hidden. Considerable momentum and national visibility have been gained through the designation as a public Ivy and through some of our high national and global rankings, but there's more to be done. In coordination with strategic planning this spring, the university is going to embark on a rebranding campaign. We're going to partner with a national leader in higher education marketing, Simpson Scarborough, on this project. But don't worry, we're not getting rid of the flying bee or changing our shade of green. I have memorized this. It is Pantone 342. Those key symbols of our identity are not going anywhere. But our aim is to combine external perspectives with internal expertise. That way we can sharpen our brand so that it is confident, modern, and unmistakably true to who we are and who we aspire to be. Everyone in New York knows about Binghamton, but we need to refine and share our story more widely. We're doing this in part to reach prospective undergraduate and graduate students, not only in New York, but from other states and other nations. Another important goal is making sure that our peers in higher education are aware of the great things happening at Binghamton. For example, peer reviews from presidents and provosts are a significant factor in many rankings, for example, accounting for 20% of the US News & World Report ranking. And we can also improve pathways for research partnerships and faculty recruiting by marketing Binghamton and making our story better known nationally and globally. At almost every stop on the listening tour, the conversation came around to athletics in one form or another. This community is passionate about their Bearcats, and you want to see them do well. Student athletes are such an important part of our campus culture. They bring unique skills to our community, not just through competition, but in values like leadership and teamwork that translate into the classroom and beyond. Success in athletics leads to so many positive outcomes in advancement, enrollment, alumni engagement, and in national visibility. And trust me, I saw this firsthand through my career at the University of Connecticut, where, as you may know, they play a little bit of basketball. Athletics is a significant part of Binghamton's overall campus culture of excellence. We've won back-to-back America East Commissioners' Cups in recent years. We have the best facilities in the conference. We've seen former Bearcats represent us in the Olympics. Our teams give our students an avenue for socializing in a positive and healthy way, something to cheer for, and an opportunity to build school spirit. And as one of our student athletes told me during the listening tour, we want to build a winning culture, a championship culture at Binghamton, and we are going to do that. So go Bearcats. At every stop on the listening tour, I asked the audience for one word that describes Binghamton University. You see the results here. Collaborative, community, innovative, excellence, caring, supportive, opportunity, growing, welcoming, and one that touches me, home. That's what Binghamton University is, and this is how this community sees itself. So many positive words, and so many words that talk about things outside of teaching, learning, and research. This is a community of people who truly, genuinely care about one another and are proud of the environment that they've cultivated here. I'd like to share a few quotes that stood out to me from people on the listening tour. When I met with the Parents Leadership Council, one parent said that Binghamton was the only university during their college search that would support their child embarking on a unique dual degree in engineering and theater. As she said, Binghamton led with yes. That's a unique position in higher education, and I'm glad that students are choosing Binghamton because we give them the opportunity to pursue their dreams. A staff member in the Division of Research offered a sentiment shared by many in observing, people here are outstanding in how they support each other and deliver. These are just two examples, but you see just how important and established the culture of caring is here. A few more quotes. The first from one of our students on the Student Association Executive Board, capturing the student experience. We stay at Binghamton because the classes are great, the professors are phenomenal, and the social life is vibrant. There are so many clubs, and that's a really big part of our college experience. And from a faculty member in the School of Management, we have amazing undergraduate students. They are smart, aspiring students, and in combination with our alumni network, they're doing great things. It's our obligation to make sure they have an amazing campus experience. Anything to enhance and improve their experience would be a great investment. We all know Binghamton students are the university's most precious resource. That came across in my many interactions with students, and it's clear that our faculty and staff also recognize and appreciate Binghamton students and their talents and skills. People often asked me during the listening tour how I'll know that I've succeeded as Binghamton's president. And while there are many metrics that we'll be able to monitor in terms of student success, faculty awards, the growth of the endowment, my shorthand answer is this. I'll know that I've succeeded 5 years from now when people nationally and globally, when they're talking about our great public universities, Berkeley, Michigan, UVA, that Binghamton is on that list. Binghamton deserves to be on that list, top of mind, because of the great people in this community. The listening tour was an excellent opportunity for me to reaffirm my belief that this is possible, and that we have the people, the resources, and the vision to make it happen. One thing that has surprised me, if not amazed me, is the strong culture of strategic planning at Binghamton. I've had so many faculty and staff ask me about strategic planning, and I will say that in my experience, it's rather rare to have that level of passion for strategic planning spread throughout a university, and I'm not naming names there. It speaks to President Stenger and the success of the roadmap in engaging everyone in the process of planning for Binghamton's future. But it's time for a new strategic plan, and work started on the preparation during the fall semester. I want to thank Provost Donald Hall and distinguished Professor Mohammed Kasabi for co-chairing the process. I'll share more on the timeline on the next slide, but what I can share about the vision for the strategic plan is this. It's going to be focused on Binghamton's mission and values, and it's going to put students first. The process for the strategic plan will be inclusive, both in its development and its implementation. That means we're inviting many people to the table from all corners of campus and beyond to serve on subcommittees and to participate through surveys and open meetings. Over the next few years, the university will also be building toward the Middle States Commission on Higher Education's accreditation visit during the 2028-29 academic year. The strategic plan is going to align with the goals we'll outline in our self-study, and the roadmap is a tremendous template for us to build on. We're going to spend the spring semester deliberating on what goes into the strategic plan. What you can expect is a further commitment to excellence across the 4 pillars of our work: education, research and scholarship, economic development, and community engagement. You'll see a tangible and realistic pathway to achieving Binghamton's goals of continuing to grow into one of the nation's premier public universities. Because of the strong culture of strategic planning here and our remarkable alignment around our vision and values, I don't think strategic planning requires an extended time frame. As you can see, we'll have a strategic plan in place by the end of this spring semester. Through March, the committee is going to engage broadly with the campus community. We're going to gather information and feedback from students, faculty, staff, and other constituents to fully examine the scope of Binghamton's strategic priorities. In March and April, we'll refine those and start to clarify key 5-year actions and the metrics we'll use to measure them. By May, the plan will be further refined and finalized, meaning we'll start communicating and implementing the strategic plan throughout the summer and at the start of the fall 2026 semester. And a strategic planning website with many more details on the process is available on the President's Office page. As part of the strategic planning process and Middle States accreditation, the university is refreshing and updating its mission, vision, and values statements. We're working through edits and drafts right now, and we'll share these statements with you in the near future. But I do want to take this opportunity to speak broadly about the university's mission, vision, and values. The mission is high-impact research, high-touch teaching and learning, and living up to the call of the SUNY Charter in providing New Yorkers with opportunity and access to education. The vision for the future is that Binghamton will stand among the world's leading universities. When people talk about the great universities, when our partners in government and industry turn to universities for help in solving the world's problems, I want those conversations to include Binghamton. Binghamton's values can be summarized in 4 key points. We value the holistic success of our students. We value the inclusive community you have built and sustained. We value working together with others across disciplines. And we value pursuing the truth and improving our world with empathy, creativity, and genuine curiosity. Binghamton's mission, vision, and values aren't changing, but we are refining the language to help us meet the moment and take this next great leap into the future. I want to conclude by returning to the concept of the Binghamton Bond. It stretches back 80 years to the founding of this institution. Our GIs came home from World War II looking to continue changing the world by satiating their intellectual curiosity, preparing themselves for the workforce, and creating friendships that would last a lifetime. It's the same today. Binghamton provides our students with a transformative educational experience. Our faculty conduct innovative, path-breaking research and scholarship. We collaborate with peer institutions, industry partners, and our neighbors here in Broome County. Binghamton creates leaders. Binghamton finds solutions that make our world a better place. And what holds all of that together is the Binghamton Bond. That core sense of community between students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the people of this region. We are united in the work of teaching and learning, research and scholarship, and service to others. And we're connected by kindness, compassion, and consideration for others. As a newcomer to this community, I felt the Binghamton Bond, and I heard about it throughout the listening tour. how much everyone in this community cares about one another, how collaborative we are in our work, and how Binghamton and its people make a difference. The Binghamton bond is in our DNA. It's the magic element that has guided this university through 80 years of progress and success. And to go back to our alma mater, to quote for a bit, but I won't sing, I'm sparing you that. But let me quote the alma mater. Where two gently flowing rivers meet, we form our cherished ties. Together we spend these years united in our aim. That's the Binghamton bond. Cherished ties and unity in our aim. We see that in the Carnegie Classification for Community Engagement. Binghamton has been recognized nationally for being so united in serving our community. And we see the Binghamton bond in the New York Center for AI Responsibility and Research. The cherished ties inspired an alum to provide a transformative gift, the largest gift, academic gift in Binghamton's history, that will support the work of our faculty, staff, and students today, and unite us in harnessing this emerging technology for good. I've started seeing the Binghamton bond everywhere I look. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for adding to it. And thank you for what you're going to do for Binghamton in the years ahead. Have a wonderful semester and a wonderful 2026. And again, thank you so much for joining me here today.